Hi, everybody. Well, today we really are going to make it the All About Phoenix show because I shared Curtis's rescue story and I thought it was high time we shared Phoenix. Well, I think it was probably about in 2013, right about smack the end of January. It was cold, and I was over at a friend's house, and I was thinking about going home, but all of a sudden I get this call from my friend's daughter. And she says that she and her boyfriend found a cat in the middle of the road, and they'd moved him off to the side, but they felt like they should go back to check on him. And when they did, he hadn't moved, so they picked him up, and he was in bad shape. He had been hit by a car. His poor little head was skinned. He had a skin spot on his hip. And, it was horrible. It was horrible. We didn't think he'd make it. So, she didn't know what to do with him, so she brought him over to us. And I was either going to take him home and monitor him for the night, or if he was in really bad shape, well, we would have had to have done something. But we managed to call the vet at 9 at night and get him out of bed probably, or at least away from his dinner, poor fellow. And he agreed to see us, so we hauled him in. My friend drove like a crazy lady, and I was holding this screaming, bleeding cat in a blanket on my lap the whole way. Yeah, you were in bad shape. Poor baby. Hi, Roswell. Oh, that's our Jenna. Roswell's in there. And he was in bad shape, and we brought him into the vet, and this poor guy, his eyes were sealed shut with blood, and we honestly thought he had a whole bunch of internal injuries, and the vet looked him over. Yeah, and miraculously there were no broken bones. There did not appear to be any injuries, internal injuries. He had a really bad, you can just barely make it out. Let everybody see. He had a really bad skinned spot right here above his eyebrow. Yeah. And he was really limp on one side. He couldn't use his leg. It was literally just as floppy as a stuffed animal. And we thought it was broken. It turned out it was probably from his concussion that had messed up some of the nerves in his legs. I know this is graphic, but people need to know about these things because hit and run drivers exist. And to whoever hit him, if you're watching this and you didn't stop, shame on you. You could have at least stopped for the little guy. But that's your loss, because look what I got out of the deal. So we just left him that night to let the vet tend to him. And he was already, even as bad shape as he was, this poor little guy was up trying to get to us, and he was meowing at me and my friend, and we were just both bawling our eyes out. And I started petting him. Well, the next morning I called, and I really didn't know what to expect. I was thinking, Phoenix hadn't made it. But they said he's up and he's kind of looking around. He's trying to get out of his cage. I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So it was really cold and everything, but I kept going over there. I think he was there for like a total of 3 or 4 days. And they stitched him up, and he kept improving. I went over there every day. And the poor little guy, he was just in bad shape. He didn't know what was going on. When I first saw him, his eyes were still sealed shut with the blood and stuff. It was horrible. But he kept mewing at me. Yeah. And he was purring. And he kept trying to jump out of his cage, and he kept trying to come up to me. So I went to see him every day. And then about day 3, I got to take him home. And we'd already made the appointment to get him neutered and everything. And I was thinking to myself, well, the whole time I was thinking, what am I going to do once he's better? Am I going to drop him off at the Humane Society and hope he gets adopted? Because I really wasn't in the market for another cat. But then I thought, well, what if he doesn't get adopted, or what if something happens to him? And I just kept thinking about it, and it was like, okay, well, I'm going to take him home until I can find him a new home. And, well, a week turned into 2 weeks, 2 weeks turned into a month turned into several months, and, well, as you can see, I made very little effort to rehome him. Yeah. So that's how we got Phoenix Orion. But yeah, he just started getting better. He didn't quite, no, I think he must have been a barn cat or something at one time, because he really didn't get the gist of being an indoor cat at first. We had a couple accidents outside the litter box, but nothing serious. He thought it was okay to pee in the closet at first. And everything was a climbing spot for him. He got up on this little shelf that I have, and it's probably maybe 4 inches wide. How he got up there, I do not know. I was like, no, that's not what we do. And he got the hang of it. I mean, he figured it out after a while. The other cats took a while to warm up to him, and I was really kind of concerned when I brought home Curtis, but Curtis actually, Phoenix walked up and the cats couldn't have cared less. It was so funny. They were just like, who's this guy? And then they walked off. They honestly do not care about the rabbit. They probably just think he's a funny vegan cat. But Phoenix was curious about him, and then Curtis actually initiated the friendship. He would follow the cats around. Our Geno's cranky. He doesn't like anybody. He's kind of like me. But Curtis would just follow the cats around, yes. And Phoenix finally took to him. And they have a marvelous friendship. So I was a little shocked that Curtis took to the cats so quickly. I was like, oh, this is going to be a disaster. And I was going to seal up the whole room and give Curtis the cat-free room. And then I realized that they were buddies. Especially Phoenix. He thinks everybody's his friend. But yeah, we rescued you, didn't we? But that is the story of Phoenix and how he came to be part of the family. Yeah, spotlight's on you today, buddy. Yeah. Pooey, you're shedding. Oh. Never kiss a cat right after you put lip gloss on. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed our story. And that is how I came about getting this little guy. So, yeah. Hit and run drivers out there, shame on you. Take responsibility. And besides, look what you're missing out on. Ha ha, he's mine. He's mine, not yours. Ha ha. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We love you. Yeah, love your animals. All right. Phoenix, anything to say? Okay. Say bye, everyone.